we'll do that, and that way. And I think, honestly, I think we should do all characters on this stream. Really get our money's worth out of this this entire game. So I'll start off Necromancer, of course, and you do Barbarian, and we can just choose another character after we beat it. I'm gonna go get a drink. Une second. Oh. Let's turn this on.
Awesome shirt, by the way.
Why, thank you. I need to get. Oh, look, it's all dusty. I need to get more though, in a hoodie or something. Shogun 917 is back, yeah. The Shogun. Oh. And I brought some carbonated beverage, some black gold Lee. Alright, hold on here.
It just seems too early for that.
Well, it is 9:07 a.m. Gotta have some black gold. Hey, Paul, what's up? How was your Horde match yesterday? Always good, my friend. Always good. Universe. Universe. Shogun, is that a picture of LeBron in your profile pic? I can't really see because it looks small, but it looks like LaFlop. Oh, please tell me no. I'll tell you this, as much as I hate on LeBron James, I will appreciate him more when he retires, but... Hey, big casino! Ching, ching!
Ching, ching.
Yeah. I love that we all do that for him now.
Yeah.
It took... no, Gollum fooled me. Mark, get in here if you want to. We're gonna talk, Gollum. Universe... But yeah, I think that's gonna be a forever thing. I hope he's always gonna remember. So when I'm dead and gone, and big casinos living large with all the honeys, he's gonna be. I remember that old dude from Canada would always go ching ching whenever he saw my name. How many other streamers do that for their peeps?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, it's just it's like it seems to have a song or some kind of thing for everyone.
It's just that's how I'm wired. It's so weird, and I'm weird. I'll 100% admit it. I'm a weird dude. I'm a nice guy, and I can be a very mean-spirited man too. But I am. I treat everybody excellent first, and then we see where we go from there. That's just me. Celtics in 7. Man, I watched that game last night. That was so exciting. I want Boston to win now because of the odds, because of the finish last night, and because I don't care about the players overall between Miami and Boston. It's not my team. I don't like Jimmy Butler. I think he's overrated. That's just me, and I know I'm a jerk for saying that, but But just as a heads up, during the podcast, kids, I don't interact with chat very much. So this is definitely different from a usual stream that I do. So once we get going, episode 68, Lee. 68.
Hey, it's going to be 69 next.
69, dudes! I'm excited. Not, it's just, that's childish, of course, to do what I'm doing. But I remember back in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure days, that was another thing, was 69, dudes. You've seen the first Bill and Ted's, right? Oh,
I've seen them all.
Yeah. The Bogus Journey's not so good, but the last one they did, I really, really friggin' liked it.
I quite liked Bogus Journey.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Say. Yeah.
All right, we need to get this movie podcast going, dude. I'm serious. Let's get her going great. I need to tweak this one so it's like as a show as opposed to what we're doing. I like what we're doing, but we need to make it a little more showy. Show-ish. Segments like the Lee News. Breaking Lee News here live on Pharaoh TV. We'll get it.
What with the like a breaking news sort of thing at the bottom?
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? No, I wouldn't go that far, but it would be funny. Here we are live with Lee Everett talking about Gollum, how crappy the game is. Boston would be first team to make the impossible. I hope so, Shogun. I think that's exciting, dude. I hope that happens. I love that Shaq and Chuck and Kenny can't go on vacation because they have to keep covering this as they're the NBA on TNT guys. They don't cover the finals, so they have to cover all the playoffs, and they thought they were headed to Bahamas a week and a half ago. So I think that's funny. Hey, Mrs. Retro. It's funny, Mrs. Retro's here. We were actually talking about Lauren last night. It was funny. We talk about all you guys. That's the funny thing.
Man, I don't know what to say to that.
No, and it's not negative at all. I just said the way Lauren talks, hello, like when she goes, hello, Paul, it's like she's Mrs. Doubtfire. But I said, Lauren's just a young pup. She's not 65 or 70. So.
Everyone's a young pup to you.
They seem to be. They really do. And sorry for the LeBron picture, Shogun. Dude, that's just me, man. That's just me as a hater. If someone's going to call me a hater for LeBron, they're 100% right. They really are. And I have many reasons for him to dislike the man as a basketball player. But as a personal person, whatever. The dude's got $1 billion or whatever. Way more than I could possibly dream of. Oh, you're at work on your lunch. Okay, cool. Oh, June bugs are out, eh? Do you guys get June bugs over in the UK?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No, we don't. Like we are very insect free.
What? Oh,
like,
I'm moving to the UK.
Like we don't get mosquitoes. We don't, you know.
Oh, we've got mosquitoes, black flies, flying ants, these flying cockroaches called June bugs. Take a look, man. I don't go outside all of June, and they started last night. If you Google June bugs, they're disgusting. They're crunchy. They're blind. They get stuck in hair.
Yeah.
I can't stand them. I really can't. But yeah,
well, them getting stuck in hair wouldn't necessarily be an issue for
not
you.
for me. My chest hair maybe. But yeah, you search up. It's called a June beetle. We call them June bugs, but they're just nasty. They're just gross. They're scary. They're out of a horror movie.
But
you've heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of June bugs, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Lauren said you guys get flying ants. I think everybody gets flying ants, but still. All right, you ready? Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's go.
Gaming podcast here. So Mr. Mucklin is supposed to join. We'll see what happens. He's putting together a lawnmower. So, hey, welcome to the Gamers Pass podcast, episode 68. Here we are. Lee and I rocking, living, playing games, loving life, enjoying hanging out with you guys on a Sunday morning for me. Early Saturday after Sunday. Oh my gosh. Let's try that again.
All the days of the week.
Early Sunday afternoon for you, Lee. So Lee, how's it going? And what have you been playing today?
I'm doing awesome, and the games I've been playing have been Gears 5, obviously, um, and outside of that, I feel like I've been playing something else, but Republic Commando, I
Okay.
did it
Hold on.
when,
How do you like it? I know this is your first time playing, right?
yeah, I hadn't played it before. I got it when it was on sale for Star Wars Day,
Yep.
and James, highly recommended
Of
it.
course.
Um,
Oh, I love
but
bursting
I
his
thought
bubble.
I thought it was good. Like I can definitely see why people enjoyed it back then.
Yes.
I'm not gonna like be a downer on that because like that's because because it was definitely a good game for its time. Um,
It was.
now there are just aspects of it that don't quite hold up, but that's really to be expected.
Yep.
Um, and so like I don't want to fault it too much for that. It's like watching an older film, um, and seeing that it's just not as good because certain CGI aspects or
Right.
whatever. Um, if you watch the original trilogy for Star Wars, like clearly they don't have the the great technology that we have now to be able to make things.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but it but the thing is that we love that all the same. Um, Whereas for other things you might not. So like it's in the sense of how you said you liked GoldenEye, but you
Yes.
weren't a fan of this, even though like GoldenEye came out before it.
Right. We'll discuss that here
So
in a sec. Then keep
yeah,
going. Keep going.
um, just how like you can love something so much, but it's not. I had a good idea of how I was going to say on this. It
Yep.
just didn't work.
That's okay.
But other games I've played, I've been doing GTA Online,
Oh,
because I want to, because you did mention
I
it
did. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if
last
you were
week.
going to do it. Okay.
Well, I just wanted to try and get into it, because I've already done the story, but I just wanted to do the online aspect of it. I'm getting like used to it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be some kind of update where there's like a career that you can go towards,
Oh, okay.
whether it's um whether it's executive, um, gun runner,
So the same as what
biker.
Red Dead's doing then.
Oh, is that what they're
Yeah,
doing?
so Red Dead has like professions, like six
Right.
professions, I believe it is. I haven't really played much, only with Pete, because I kind of moved on from Red Dead. But yeah, so I haven't joined GTA Online in years.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, for this, you start with 4 million, um, and through that, like you have to spend at least 3 million already
Okay,
because that's what the game makes you do to buy sort of like an HQ for your business,
that's
um,
cool.
vehicles, um, weapons, any sort of upgrades to your business in a sense, that kind of thing. So you have to spend at least 3 million to do that,
Okay.
because that's what it just makes you do. I went for as a gun runner, and I have a bunker.
All
Um,
right.
and so I think it's meant to be like entice people more into playing, like newer players to play GTA Online, which makes sense. I think it's what's kept me interested.
Excellent.
Um, and with that, you start your organization. I've called mine Costly, um, because that's what I imagine everything would be.
Yep.
And yeah, it's pretty good. Like I haven't had any real griefing from other online players.
Okay.
Um, they've seemed pretty respectful over the whole thing,
All righty. No,
which
that's
is
cool.
which is great. I imagine that won't be the case forever, but it's
Well, I don't know,
pretty good for
man.
now.
The game's been out forever, so we may not have any. There may not be any issues or griefers. Mark,
Hey, how's it going, guys?
good man. How are you?
Going awesome.
All right, what else you been playing, Lee?
That's pretty much it.
Okay, Mark, what have you been playing this week? And good to see you, sir. Saint Martin.
Good seeing everybody here. So this week I've been playing Warzone. I went back, of course, Warzone. I went back and started playing Pokemon Silver on my phone. Been enjoying that. Let's see, what else have I played? Some NHL 23.
Yep, it's on Game Pass. Yep.
Yeah, that's actually been quite fun, and I think that's about it.
Okay. Oh, excellent. All right, so I took a different approach to this week, which is funny because I kicked it old school for a bit. One was to prove James wrong, which I did. I played Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005, which was a brilliant game back in 2005. Loved it. Wonderful memories. Nostalgia's amazing. So James was saying how much he loves that one and how it's 10 times better than the 2017 one, blah, 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 wah, wah. And so after playing it, I'm pretty sure his soul was crushed because he was here for the stream. And he did make some comments about how now he's kind of sad now after seeing the gameplay and how it was. 2005, it was awesome. 2023, it is not. It does not age well, especially since the newer version of Battlefront 2 is out or has been out. It's incredible. Like literally that game is amazing. So any of the other Battlefronts do not even come close. Yeah, the foundations there is the Galactic Conquest, the way you get to play that. That's really cool. I think that should have been in the last Battlefront, but it's not, and it is what it is. So that's great. The other awesome thing was I played Star Wars Republic Commando from 2005 a couple days ago. That was on Thursday. I did that just because we've been talking about Republic Commando, and since I'm waiting for Diablo 4. Mark, you getting Diablo 4?
Diablo 4? I never played Diablo 3.
Okay, all right.
So Diablo 4, I know you guys have been talking about, especially on the streams and stuff like that. I'm interested to see you guys play it, see what it's like, but I feel like I would have to play Diablo 3 just to play Diablo 4.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay.
I think a key thing that got me excited for Diablo 4 was the fact that I got to play the free beta.
Yeah. Which was awesome.
Yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Big Casino never played a Diablo game. Oh, we'll talk about Diablo here in a sec. Sorry, guys. All right, so I played Star Wars Republic Commando. Not a good game anymore. The AI is dumb. The concepts were cool. You controlling your dudes, telling them to do things, blah, blah, blah. But the game's just not fun. It really isn't. And I gave her a go. I loved it back in 2005. It was cool. It was scary at certain points. It was like dark, and it's just not good anymore, unfortunately. I've been playing GTA 5 Story. I jumped into the story. I have not touched online. I was waiting on you to see if you were going to play it. So it looks like we may have to do something. Ooh, that would only be Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Because June 1st. What's that?
How far are you into it?
Into GTA 5?
Yeah. Like what?
26% done. So
what was the last mission you did? Like story-wise.
Oh, Trevor and Michael went to stop his daughter from doing the show.
Oh yeah. What's that show called? Oh man, I played that.
Oh,
game
shame or
Fame or Shame.
Fame or Shame. That's it. Yeah. And so I did that. Like, there's stuff I'm doing in the GTA. I played it when it first came out, loved it. GTA 5, like, I love it still. There's stuff that I'm doing, though, that I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember this. So it's actually really cool. So,
and for a game to essentially have come out in 2013,
right,
10 years ago, like,
it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It shows you how amazing Rockstar is with their games. They have their game. That's what they focus on. and they're doing it. And I just read a news report. Rockstar is expecting GTA 6 to be a knock out of the park, perfect, amazing, blah blah blah. I'm excited. So
Yeah, they need to hurry up with that.
so I haven't played online yet because I was waiting. So I've been playing GTA 5. The new indie game, Planet of Lana. I started that yesterday. Really good on Game Pass. I saw it and I was like, okay, graphically it's gorgeous. Little different art style. I almost like. It's not real, of course. It's an indie game. It's animated, blah blah blah. But it also has kind of like a watercolor effect in the background, but just like very very little. And so, but gameplay is really cool. There's puzzles in the sense that like, oh, what do I do here? And not like figure out a puzzle. Just like what is the we'll call it obstacles. How about that instead of puzzles? We'll do obstacles. I thought it's just really good. You have this little black cat creature. It's not a cat, but it's a little creature that you can pet and interact with named Mui. And I thought, oh, this is adorable. This is great. So it's really good. PlayStation Showcase, Gears 5. So this week has been and Pinball FX, right? The new season dropped last week. It's a 4-month season, but it's half the size than it was last time. So it's pretty good. The new boards are coming out, new tables, blah blah blah. I've already been in contact. And they gave me a code for some of their other stuff, which was nice. And they asked me to cover their new game, new table when it drops. So gladly stream that. So this week,
have you been playing Planet Coaster? Was that you?
Oh, Lee, how can I forget that? Planet Coaster, I love it. If you've not played like a Roller Coaster Tycoon or any of those games, Planet Coaster takes everything Roller Coaster Tycoon and all these other park management games, and they just expounded on it and made it amazing. I'm waiting for Planet Zoo to come out on console. I know I can get it on Steam. I just don't sit at my computer and play games. I always play on the couch on the Xbox. So it's phenomenal. And I'm telling you right now, there is the song, and I've told this on stream, there's a song at the beginning that while you're sitting there in just like the press start screen, they have this music and this song that is just so engaging. It gives you the feels. You just feel like, I could just sit here and listen to it all day. It's relaxing. It's calm. It's fun. My mind is blown over how amazing that is. And such a great game. So I've only played 2 scenarios. And I'm like, it's been sitting there installed because I don't want to uninstall it. So after like months and months and months of not playing, I'm gonna give her a go. And I just thought, okay, this is great. I love it. Super fun. I already have all the DLC that, like even the Ghostbusters DLC that I've not even played. And so it's just fun. Planet Coaster, get it? I don't know what this is. It's bugging me though. Planet Coaster is a blast. I highly recommend it. If it's on sale, get it. Enjoy it. Have a wonderful time. That's me, man. That's me in a nutshell. Just I don't sleep much, especially this week, and so I've been able to play some games and have some good times. It's wonderful. All right. What's this?
No. Just carry on.
All right, let's jump into some Lee news. Lee, what do you got for news, sir?
All right. I mean, you kind of mentioned it already. Rockstar is seeking nothing short of perfection for GTA 6.
All right, yeah. We need to do a GTA live or a talk session on what we expect, what we want to see, all of that stuff. Because I'm expecting perfection as well from GTA 6, just because it's so amazing.
I don't expect anything less from Rockstar, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that's all of us. So all of us hold that company in high regards. It's like they've never failed us, other than dropping the ball on Red Dead 2, as in, hey, we made it. See us later, and not really expounding on that. But
have they stopped adding content to Red Dead Redemption 2?
Nothing really new. I'm not sure. Mark, have you heard anything?
No, I mean, their online never took off the way I think they wanted to. The storyline and everything, I think that was fantastic.
Wonderful. Right.
It had some minor glitches and stuff in the game, but other than that, the online mode it never caught fire like GTA for some reason.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe it's because GTA is it's like Rockstar puts all their focus on anything online strictly to GTA, which
Right.
I can understand because they've been
Cash
making
cow.
tons of money off of that game.
Right.
I don't think there's ever been a game in history that's made as much money off of a single title
Yeah.
as GTA.
I don't think so. Even like MMOs that are dedicated, that have dedicated players that you pay monthly to play. This you don't. I know you can get the Rockstar Pass. I just read or I just saw yesterday or day before, where you get like $500,000 every month or something. And
Yeah.
but if you're a hardcore player, that's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you seen the people that will take the actual game and mod it, and you got people that play as cops on that game?
Yeah, the role playing stuff.
Yes, yes. I mean, there's just like so much they can do to that, and I'm excited
There's
to see
so
what
much
GTA
modding.
6.
Yeah. Yeah, GTA 6 is great. I haven't looked at any GTA 5 mods or anything like that just because I'm not that hardcore of a player, but that's really cool.
I haven't necessarily been looking into the mods, but like the stuff that they can do is
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
which is wonderful. And then they have their own dedicated servers and stuff. I believe not Rockstar themselves, but people can purchase these servers and set them up, and people can go in and play. They're locked down for the most part, and but yeah, allow for all those mods and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so the upcoming Xbox games showcase will be shown in 25 different movie theaters.
What?
So yeah. On what day is it happening?
June 11th. June 11th,
right.
sir. I'm excited. I'm just saying.
So yeah, apparently it's being shown in 25 movie theaters in the USA. So
I would go to, honestly, I'm just saying right now, I would go to a movie theater to watch the event. I go to the movies all the time anyways, but
I mean, it's like they just wanted to up their game in comparison to Sony's.
I don't know. The thing is too is Xbox has this fully built theater themselves where they film all of these events and all this other stuff, which is pretty amazing and immaculate. So to be shown in theaters, I would do it. I would totally, but we're gonna cover it anyways here on the Gamers Pass podcast. So I would love to go to the theater to watch this giant event and talk Starfield. Yes, it's gonna be great.
I mean, there's millions of people that watch this.
The millions
The
millions that watch this show, which is amazing. And so they're gonna watch it here, probably stay home from the theater. But does it say where they're gonna be, Lee?
Not on the page. It said in the US.
Sure, yeah. Oh, that would be cool though. That would be awesome.
Even and it said better yet, you'll even get $10 worth of snacks to use on whatever you want.
Wow, so, that'll only buy you one chocolate bar, or as Americans call it, candy bars. You'd only get one candy bar, but it's just food. The food at theaters are stupid expensive. But that's cool. So you pay to go to the event, and then they give you money to go purchase something. That's just that's cool. I would love it.
Yeah, that's I did think that was pretty cool. And then I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on other stuff, but like related to this. But Phil Spencer congratulates Sony on the PlayStation Showcase.
Of course. So the term, and I think they're just trying to stir up trouble. I think they put "nice" in quotes, right? Yeah, I think that's stupid to do something like that. But I do want to discuss the Xbox thing here in a little bit, and let me just type this out. But I'm gonna say Phil Spencer is a gamer. Hands down. The dude's incredibly smart. He's running Xbox, blah, blah, blah. But he's a gamer, and he plays these games. He's excited. I think he's genuinely excited when he congratulates PlayStation on their launches. Hey, congratulations on a successful PS5 launch, PS4 launch, blah, blah, blah. He's all about game developers. He's all about the gaming industry. He's all about competition. So he'll congratulate Nintendo and PlayStation. I think that's brilliant. I think that's amazing. I'm not sure if the other guy does that. I don't really follow Jim Ryan very much, but I don't think it's ever been said Jim Ryan congratulates Xbox on a successful or any sort of re-event.
Well, you know, like if you do follow Jim Ryan, it'll be easy to find them because you'll just have to follow like a trail of tears.
Of tears.
and tissues.
That's so funny. So that's my thing with Phil. I think the guy's amazing, and I'm not just fanboying over Phil Spencer. I say it over and over. Xbox is my preferred platform, but I am old enough and smart enough to appreciate all avenues of gaming and systems, except for Stadia. I didn't really pay attention to Stadia whatsoever. But yeah, I know I truly believe PlayStation has the better exclusives, but the ecosystem of Xbox and their identity and everything with that, I like it. I like it more. I like it more. Mark, if you had to choose Xbox, PlayStation, I know you have them all, but what would you choose? Or in Nintendo, because I know you love Nintendo right now. So what would you identify with if you had to?
Xbox for sure.
All right.
Xbox, despite you know, Redfall,
Yeah.
all that stuff that came out. I'll take the good, you know, and the bad. It comes with the territory, but you just will not find a better deal overall than the Xbox Game Pass, and the support system from Microsoft in general has always been fantastic. And they never went through that credit card breach like PlayStation did.
Oh wow, yeah, I totally forgot
Just a
about
random
that.
point, but yeah, Xbox never went through. I'm just saying.
So Lee, I know you have a Nintendo Switch still. You haven't sold that, and you have an Xbox. Like, if you had to choose,
Xbox definitely.
definitely.
The Switch, like because it didn't have much going on at the time. Like the Switch served me well.
Yep.
And you were doing a lot of Switch
Nintendo
games
streams,
at the
yeah.
time. Yeah. So so that worked for me and everything.
Sure.
But it just, I don't know, like there was just an element of frustration behind it.
Yep.
Where it's like it just didn't feel to par in comparison to
Sure.
to the Titans, as it were. So I'm really glad I got my Xbox.
We are too. That's awesome.
I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't have gone back and changed it for a PS5. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's really broadened my range of what I play, and yeah, I think it's awesome.
That's fantastic. And yeah, no, I get it. And if you were a Sony person, I'd tease you a bit, but that's okay. It's all right.
Hey, I'm British. You can still tease me anyway.
Of course, that's right. If you were PC Master Race, I would totally make fun of you, but that's okay too, because ultimately, if you want the best out of a gaming experience, a PC setup, gaming PC would definitely be what you should do, because you can do everything. You can do everything, steering wheel, the controller, the mouse and keyboard, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that. So, yeah. So do you have any other news? I'm sure you do.
Outside of that, it was essentially about the Gollum game. But we're going to get into that.
We'll get into Gollum because Mark's super excited to play this game, but we'll get that here in a bit. And so I just wanted to chat a little bit of what's going on in the industry right now for I won't say their names. So the developers, the gaming news industry, Twitter, the guys that represent these other gaming communities, and what's going on right now. So if nobody's heard, Starfield is coming out for Xbox. Starfield is kind of like Bethesda's new IP. Those are the guys that make like Elder Scrolls. They do the Fallout series, all of that stuff. Amazing games, brilliant RPGs, action RPGs, just phenomenal. And so Starfield is coming out. And so after Redfall's not so great launch, we'll call it, The cool thing right now is to hate on Xbox, to create stories about Xbox that are just negative and clickbait. And so now that Starfield is coming out very soon, it just seems like it's trending right now. It just seems like everybody's just hating on Starfield. Even part of this Facebook group I'm part of, this guy says, "What's so bad about Starfield? I haven't heard anything negative about it, or I haven't played it yet. What's so bad about it?" And I just put on there, it's not even out yet. It's not even until September. But the news narrative right now in the gaming industry is to hate on Starfield, to hate on Xbox, to create all these negative things. Starfield could be the greatest game of all time, and it's still gonna get picked on and crapped on right now, and it's in the gaming news industry right now. And that's the sad thing. Xbox Showcase is June 11th. They're also doing a separate Starfield event just to give everybody what they want. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it's going to be amazing. But if you go to these other gaming news things, it's going to be like, oh, it's ride or die for Starfield for Xbox. Could Xbox recover if Starfield doesn't do so great? And I'm just like, you guys are so out of touch, and all you're doing is creating clickbait stories. It's driving me crazy. I don't play Xbox for their exclusives. Redfall came out. It failed miserably. I moved on. Continued to play my Xbox the next day. Starfield will come out. Let's say it's the worst game of all time. Big deal. It's a game. They tried a new IP. They pushed it out. We know it's not going to be bad. We know it's going to have some issues. That's just the way Bethesda games are. Massive RPGs. It's going to have some issues. Doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. But if it is, I'm going to move on. Look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was trash. But it is brilliant now. And it's just because they released it too early. And a lot of games are like that. And we'll jump into Gollum here. But have you guys been hearing the hate? Oh, yeah, No Man's Sky. That's right.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, Battlefront 2, like the 2017, Battlefield 2042, all games that like essentially released too early, and they've had a bit of time, bit of work into it, and they're seemingly good now.
So, Mark, you played No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky? No, I didn't play that
Okay,
one.
Lee, did you try No Man's Sky?
No.
No Man's...
I do plan to, but I haven't.
So we all wanted No Man's Sky. When they released it, like, hey, this is what you can do. You can travel everywhere, blah, 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 do all this awesome stuff. And we were like, okay, great. We all thought we were going to play with our homies, too, because that's how they pitched it. We're all going to be traveling on these different planets, mining, blah, blah, blah. And it released, and it wasn't even close to what they said it was going to be. And we're all like, pfft. But a couple of years later, or however, there's James Mucklin, however many years now, No Man's Sky is amazing. And so the current narrative is Starfield is just No Man's Sky. Hey, James!
Hey, chaps, how we doing?
Good, man. We're just chatting the gaming news narrative right now for Twitter, for IGN, GameStop, or GameSpot, and all of these other news outlets, gaming news outlets. Their narrative is just to trash on Xbox right now because it's getting click views, it's getting the visits, it's generating revenue for them. And we're kind of just discussing it right now. And so the point is, the current narrative is Starfield's just going to be No Man's Sky. That's kind of... And so we know it's not, but it's going to be in a way. I think Starfield is going to be what we all wanted. Brimstone, $3 super chat donation, dude. Thank you so much. I think that, dude, that's amazing. Thank you. Pair character punching the air with fist and bump written on his knuckles. Yeah. All right, sorry, just had to shout that out. Brimstone Gaming, thank you so much, sir. So that's where we're headed. And if it turns out to be like No Man's Sky and Fallout, Elder Scroll, whatever, great. That's going to be amazing. But so James, I'll ask you, have you been hearing the negative, the nastiness, the crapping just on Xbox in general over the last little while?
Yeah, it seems to be the thing to do now, unfortunately. And the EU released basically a thing when they were looking at this Activision deal saying, Sony have outsold Xboxes 4-1. So there isn't really fear of competition at the minute, which is one of the reasons they let the deal go through.
Right.
And it turns out as well that one of the senior people involved in the UK banning the deal is a former Sony law employee. So
Have we
I don't know if
not?
you saw that.
We've been calling these guys out for weeks now about having some sort of back end thing with Sony and these clowns. So that just came out?
Yep, and there's discussions about it being a conflict of interest. 'Cause
Yes.
He was one of the key people in the CMA who voted against it, and he had a lot of influence. And he was a former Sony top wig, you know, in their law division. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh. All right. Mark, have you been hearing the negativity stuff towards Xbox over the last few weeks?
Oh yeah, I mean ever since Redfall, but you know at PlayStation, PlayStation fans look for any opportunity they can to try to bash Xbox. Oh, we sell more consoles. Oh, we do this. Oh, we do that. And, you know, it gets old after a while. But
Yes.
look at just look at everything as a whole. Does PlayStation seem to care about their little Game Pass version, whatever they call it, PlayStation Now? No, they don't. You spend $21 a month and you still play the same old games. What did they say? It's you cannot just put new titles out there.
Yeah, it's not
Like
sustainable.
it's not sustainable. Yet PlayStation's had MLB The Show for all these years, and it's been on Xbox Game Pass for free for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And those PlayStation crybabies have to pay full price for it. I mean, I think what it comes down to is that the PlayStation people are jealous, and that we have all this stuff that's free to us, and they just don't want to admit that Xbox is finally better.
Oh, those are shots fired, dude.
I mean, they got a nicer controller, yeah, I'll give them that, but I mean,
I still like this way better. I really do. I think the PS5 is very innovative, though, their controller. I really do, and this could use another innovative update, but I love my Xbox. It fits my hands perfectly. It's ergonomically amazing, personally.
and the PS5, okay, it does look sexier than the Xbox Series X, in my opinion. The Xbox Series X looks just like the refrigerator, the Xbox refrigerator I got over there. And that's what it does
look like air filters to me. Like I don't think there's anything special in both of them.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, at least the PlayStation does have like some cool, you know, it looks futuristic. You know,
you can change the panels too, which is cool.
But huh?
It looks like a router, your internet router.
The PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying when it first launched, that it looks like an internet router.
Paul wants to try and correct you and say it's router.
I do. In my head, I'm correcting him saying router. I really am. So I just want to say, Danny said, as a PlayStation player, I love PlayStation. I really do. And I can openly admit that Xbox Game Pass is better than the PlayStation Premium. And Danny, I'll say, as an Xbox main, I do have all systems. PlayStation has the way better exclusives. Hands down. Yeah. Just hands down. That's it. I have both consoles with both top tier passes. I feel like Xbox Game Pass is better. Yeah, I agree. Lee, how about you with the Xbox hating narrative with the news outlets? I don't know. You're not on Twitter or anything. I don't think you follow IGN much or any or those guys or whatever.
I mean, I guess the most that I've really experienced of it would be TikToks about it.
Oh, Lee's a TikToker now? Okay.
Where it's just like things sort of going against Xbox. But one of the ones that I thought was funny was a clip from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
And James Franco in that film said, "I'm ruined. I have nothing left except Spider-Man." And I thought, yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, we're gonna discuss the PlayStation event here, and I'm sure I'll have different outlooks from you guys. Like my oldest kid Isaiah, we were chatting about it last night. I know his thing, but we got to talk about Gollum here in a little bit. But So one of the dudes I follow that I thoroughly enjoy, I think he's a great guy. His name's Destin Laguerre. He's on IGN. He also is on Podcast Unlocked, which is which is IGN's Xbox podcast. I do watch. It's so funny. This is just how I am. I'll watch several podcasts all on IGN. I'll watch the Xbox podcast. I'll watch the Nintendo one. I'll watch Game Scoop. But I won't watch the PlayStation one unless there's nothing else to watch. It's sad. I can agree that we really have good exclusives, but so did Xbox. Look at the Halo games. Oh, Danny, I don't like the Halo games. I'm just saying. James loves Halo though, and he can actually discuss in great detail from beginning to the last one and the evolution, blah blah blah. So Destin had tweeted out, and I replied back to him. So he's getting hate right now. He said, "Look, I can't." So Destin Laguerre's just been getting hated on right now for things he said, pro Xbox, anti Xbox, whatever. So it's just the narrative, the way the news thing's going. So he just tweeted out yesterday, a couple days ago, "Look, I can't answer for other people's tweets or every negative Xbox article I didn't write, and I won't. If you have a question about what I've posted, ask me. Even if it's the one image from a decade ago, but come on, don't hold me accountable for the entire freaking industry." So even these guys are starting to see how the industry is turning on Xbox right now, only because it's generating clicks and views and a narrative. That's the only reason why. And so I just put, I think most are just trolling you. I think pretty much all of us respect your opinion and hold you in high regard. And it's true, he's a good dude. And he loves Xbox. He always has. And he has good opinions. But he got caught up with the anti-hate, especially around Redfall. Redfall was kind of like all the sharks were waiting for a wounded fish, whatever, to fall in the water. And that's all it was. And Redfall, that happened. But I'm going to come back and say Redfall was a new IP. It shouldn't have been released yet, but they stepped out and they did something new. And we haven't seen that from the other two giants released in this. What's that?
But Paul, that was the case with the Last Jedi, and you still hate that for it. They tried to do something new, and you absolutely slated
You can't
it.
compare the two.
That's the problem. They did something new.
So we will move on from The Last Jedi because we won't discuss that.
That's all you see Leia flying through space.
Oh my gosh. Oh, like so much. The hate scenes are just playing through my head of The Last Jedi right now. Anyways, for the side, truly be Xbox PlayStation is balanced. They both have really good perks and both have their faults. And Big Casino said The Last Jedi sucked. That's it. If anybody has a final word on something, it's ching ching. He has the final word, so hands down. All right, so that's the narrative that's going on. That wasn't even on the agenda today. It's just I love the gaming industry. I really focus a lot of my attention on the gaming industry. I want to be engaged as much as possible, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm a fanboy of Xbox, but not the type that's just like blinded to everything else and just rosy colored eyes for Xbox. Like, I get the PlayStation's great, Nintendo is great, no matter how much we don't agree on that. They still are great, and they're putting out still great games. Like Tears of the Kingdom is going to win Game of the Year. It really is, hands down. No matter how great Diablo is, Spider-Man's going to be awesome. That's not going to win Game of the Year because it's a Marvel Spider-Man game. Starfield's probably going to be awesome. Starfield's probably going to be a 10, but everyone else is still going to hate on it because of the narrative. But it's Nintendo, it's Legend of Zelda, and it's insanely innovative, apparently. That's winning Game of the Year. So let's go into Mark's Game of the Year from last year, which is Gollum. Now, let me just set up a couple things here. We've been doing this podcast for 68 episodes. It's gone through lots of fixes and lots of changes. It had to be done, and we won't discuss that stuff right here. But we did a episode where we're predicting our Game of the Years, which we will do here soon. And my buddy Mark, which is right here, how can I get it? Mark right here. Was so enthralled, and this guy up here was so caught up with Gollum, because we're all Lord of the Rings fans, right? Every one of us?
Yeah.
Lee, you Lord of the Rings fan? Okay, so we all love
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. And Gollum, what they showed was just like, ooh, this looks great. It's something new. Ooh, stealth mechanic game. This is going to be great. The trailer looked amazing. So, the game just disappeared. We're like, okay, no news, no updates, no nothing. And we weren't sure it was coming out. And then all of a sudden, it showed up at GameStop that it's coming out soon. And I took a picture and sent it to Mark. I was like, hey, look what's at my GameStop. It's a box for Gollum. And all of a sudden, news started coming up again. Well, the game released not too long ago. And it released to the point where the devs had to put out an apology, which I thought was pretty funny. So let me find it for you. I'm so sorry. I actually thought I had it, but apparently I don't, because I'm a giant slacker. Lord of the Rings Gollum. So they put out an apology. And here's what it says. And let me maximize the screen, because I'm old and my eyes don't work as great now. Dear players, this is from Daedalic Entertainment or whatever. I know you guys are watching. I'm not going to hate on you. I do appreciate you tuning in and watching this podcast, though. It says, Dear players, we would like to sincerely apologize for the underwhelming experience many of you had with the Lord of the Rings Gollum trademark. Upon its release, we acknowledge and deeply regret that the game did not meet the expectations we set for ourselves or for our dedicated community. Please accept our sincerest apologies for any disappointment this may have caused. Our goal as a studio and as passionate the Lord of the Rings fans has always been to tell a compelling and immersive story-driven adventure. Crafting a story with Middle-earth as our playground has been the greatest honor and the biggest challenge we have faced so far. The Daedalic, at Daedalic, I'll just call it, we understand that a game's success relies on the enjoyment and satisfaction of its players. We genuinely value your feedback and have been actively listening to your voices regarding your comments and analyzing the constructive criticism and suggestions you have provided. Our development team has been working diligently to address the bugs and technical issues many of you experienced. We are committed to providing you with patches that will allow you to enjoy the game to its fullest potential. Once again, we deeply apologize for any inconvenience caused, and we appreciate your understanding during this time. We will continue to keep you uploaded on our progress, provide transparent communication regarding the upcoming patches and improvements. Your passion and dedication as players have been the driving force between our determination to make things right. So that's their apology letter. I'm sorry, it is a bunch of smoke. It's right up our butts. James, let me go to you. Mark, I'm going to save you for last because you had high hopes and you're probably the most disappointed out of all of us. But James, give me your thoughts on this because I know you were excited.
Yeah, it's a game I was going to get. And on release day, I already saw it had a 2-star reviews, and I thought, I'm going to look into this. So I watched an angry review, and I thought, I'm not getting this. The problems with the game can't be fixed with a patch. You know, a patch can fix graphical glitches, maybe update the character models, but the gameplay sucks. So the whole idea of the game is, you choose between Smeagol and Gollum, but it's done so sloppily. Here's an example of one of the choices. You're hiding from a guard that's looking for you, and a screen pops up. Do you go with Smeagol's option or Gollum's option? Smeagol's option is to keep panicking. Gollum's option is to kill the guard. If you keep panicking, the guard will kill you.
Oh,
so
what?
It's like, why have you given these choices? What is the point?
That's real?
So that was one of the choices in the game. So
Wow.
Why have this choice system where one choice is just going to get you killed? The whole idea is, you pick whether he's good or bad, but it doesn't work like that. Another problem is there are several levels that are pretty much identical. Here's a guy you need to follow to this waypoint. Here's a guy you need to follow to this waypoint. Go to this waypoint. Go to this waypoint. Go to this waypoint. Sneak in the shadow to this waypoint. And that is about 70% of the game.
Okay.
That sounds fun to anyone?
No. Not even a tiny bit. Not even a tiny bit. I've not seen reviews. I've not even read reviews. I've not watched stories. I saw some screenshots. I was like, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. This is so bad. So anything else?
And that's the problem. Well, that's enough. That's enough
Yeah.
to ruin a game.
Yeah, no, that's true. Lee, have you read or heard or seen anything about this? I'd rather play Pong. Me too.
I haven't necessarily seen a lot by it, but like I don't know. I guess in my heart I was sort of expecting this.
What?
Where
Really?
yeah, because it's like when you saw the first stuff, it looked sort of like Smeagol slash Gollum just looked weird. Like he didn't, you know, he didn't. He looked too Disney or whatever. Like with and it just didn't look right to me.
Your anti-Disney stuff. Keep going.
Um, but and another thing would be like the essential premise of the game
Yep.
would be is like, you know, great. They wanted to do something where yeah, there was an element of choice, but it turns out there's no choice.
Yeah, that's surprising. Honestly, when you that just blew my mind. Like that's impossible. How did they not see that this was a problem?
Yeah, and it was essentially one of the most interesting aspects of the game to me, for it to be the choice of whether you go down the Gollum route or the Smeagol
Which
route.
is cool.
That kind of
That's a cool concept.
yeah. Outside of that, I don't think the concept would work because I just thought like the vast world that is Middle Earth, that is the Lord of the Rings, and they decide to make a game out of Gollum, who essentially sits in a mountain for 1,000 years until Frodo takes the ring,
Yeah.
and then the events of Lord of the Ring happen. And Bilbo takes the ring.
Sure. No, I know what you meant.
So it's, you know, it's just interesting how they made a game centered around that. Like,
Sure.
you know, they couldn't have made the game centered around like I don't know, Saruman and his fall to being corrupted by Sauron, you know, that kind of thing.
So
Where it's like he was the White Wizard and he's now fallen to the whim.
That's a cool story. I just thought of this now, Mark. I'll get to you in a sec here. Wouldn't this have been rather like a Telltale style game, a story based narrative choice decision game? Wouldn't that have been a better way to go than an action sort of stealthy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But it seems like they didn't do either.
And, ouch. Lee with the sting and shot right there.
But you know, it is what it is, and I hate saying that.
Yeah, me too. But it's such a true statement, though.
Yeah, and but outside of all that, it's like it's just disappointing that it got to this stage, and because the marketing wasn't even that good for it either. Considering that we got a trailer, they disappeared, and then they re-emerged with the game in this state. And it's like when they disappeared, what they could have done was like disappear for longer and then come up with a game that actually worked. Like,
so marketing. Here's the thing: TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram is all free. So you put something out and allow the big dogs to share it with everybody else, and that's how it's supposed to work, and it should. Yeah. All right, Mark. Now, Mark, right here, his game of the year last year was supposed to be Gollum, because it was supposed to come out last year. We were all excited. It was like, this is cool. Mark was hands down, it's going to be Gollum. This is what I'm going on. This is going to be great. You can go back and watch it. And I still have the spreadsheet of all of our faves. So, Mark, sorry, I do apologize that you are in this state with Gollum, because, like I said, we're all Lord of the Rings fans. So I would like just to hear your thoughts. Break it all down for me. And as Daedalic is watching right now, their devs, their media, their CEO is definitely watching this stream with the millions. So if you could just give me your thoughts.
to the 67,000 people watching this live on Twitch.
That's right.
I have failed you. I led you to believe, I misled you to think that you were going to get a quality game, Game of the Year candidate, and Game of the Year winner. I let you down. I've never seen anything come out get criticized as bad as Gollum, except for The Last Jedi. I'm looking at some of the reviews right now. And
I was going to read those.
One from Digital Trends. I'm just going to say this one. Digital Trends could not initially score the game due to persistent crashes until a day one patch was released. The first time in the publication's history. The very first time in the publication's history. The game is riddled with crashes. Like James was saying about the gameplay, play is just horrible. From my understanding and from what I've seen, the most you can do is just kind of hide and throw rocks. The guards, people complain about the guards AI. Now I see why Gollum disappeared quietly for all these months and just popped back up for a release. And I'm wondering, and you just read out their apology letter.
Yeah.
They knew what this game was before they released it.
They had to have.
They knew, and they still released it. That's my problem, and we've discussed about this so many times about games being released like this. There's no way they didn't know.
Yeah.
There's no way they didn't know. But they still released it. It's like, thank you for your money. We'll just move on to the next project. I'm sorry. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
You know,
we're listening.
We're listening. Oh yeah, we're listening. What is that going to do? You're listening. People just spent $60-$70. I don't know how much it is in the UK or Canada. I seen that that Legend of Zelda that you sent me. It was what, $89. The most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That's what it is here.
Yeah, game prices are insane sometimes. But imagine paying full price for that game and you're stuck with it. I just don't know. I'm absolutely ashamed that they released something that bad, knowingly it was that bad.
Yep.
They already it's like they already had that statement like typed out 3 weeks ago.
Harsh. So check this out, and I wanted to bring this up. A user on Twitter named Dolan Dark, 1.6 million followers. Apparently, he's an 82-year-old music critic, Minecraft entrepreneur, hentai enthusiast, intelligent atheist, and renowned archaeologist. Okay, and so he said,
"It's a weird CV."
Yeah, and so he said, "Thanks to their apology." He goes, "Thanks." Added it to the collection. This was probably one of the most powerful things I've ever seen on Twitter. And when you click the image, the top one is Cyberpunk. Over to the next one is Bethesda, then Jedi Survivor, then Spoken, then Halo Infinite, then Redfall, now Gollum. These are all studios that put out an apology letter for their garbage releases. It's unbelievably mind-blowing. I love this, though. I love the fact, and it's sad. It's sad that there is a full collection of apology letters from developers. And if you look at the developers that are like 343 Studios, Arcane Studios, I've never heard of Daedalic or whatever. You've got Bethesda, Cyberpunk. Who was Cyberpunk's again? That was the Witcher guys. Shoot. Oh, that Respawn Entertainment. That's Jedi Survivor. Whoever. Oh, DICE did Forspoken. How do I not know Cyberpunks? I love that they're great. It's gonna hit me. I know it is.
CD Projekt.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red. So all of these amazing developers that have put out brilliant, mind-blowing games had to issue apology letters. Why? Stop it. Stop it. Like. So let's take a certain scenario, Gollum. If we don't release this game, we're going to lose our money. Okay, you release the game, it gets crap reviews, people want their money back. you're losing money. And not only that, you're tarnishing
Ruining
your developer.
reputation.
Yeah, your reputation's now tarnished. Oh, these guys put out Gollum. I don't know.
Oh,
These guys put out Gollum. I don't know what they'll do next. Blah blah blah. So
It was so bad, James left.
yeah, he hated it so much. So that was mind blowing. Hey James,
it's.
that's all good, dude.
I think he wasn't doing anything, so it put him in the AFK chat. So
Oh,
it's
that's
like-
weird. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. So let me just give you a quick rundown before we move on to the Sony State of Play. I don't think you started with Cyberpunk. Everyone says it's fine, but I still have problems with infinite saving. So Cookie, I have no issues with Cyberpunk now. Unfortunately, I'm one of those guys that I played it day one. I put 40 some hours in, and then there was a corrupt save with if you had too much inventory. That it was going to break your game. I'm like, nope, I want my money back, which is kind of stupid that I did that. I went ahead and rebought it though, and then the game's amazing. It's worked perfect. So let's go. I'm going to go to the Lord of the Rings. There's like 5 or 7 reviews here. I'm not going to read all the reviews because that's just me just running my mouth as usual. So Tech Raptor gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Unfortunately, nearly every aspect of Lord of the Rings Gollum left me wanting more. Some of the parts are enjoyable. Such as brief, great moments of Gollum's tortured conscience, which is a great idea, which is cool to focus on that. Try hard guides, 5.5 out of 10, while Lord of the Rings Gollum seems to get all the important names and locations right, the feel and look of the Middle-earth that may have come to expect isn't here. God is Geek, 5 out of 10. I really want to love Lord of the Rings Gollum. While the story is its strongest feature, the technical issues hound almost every facet of it. A GG Recon, 2 out of 5. It was always going to be tough to pull off a Gollum game. I don't think so. I think that's a stupid statement. I know GG Recon, you're watching. That statement's ridiculous. But there's simply nothing precious about the amateur stealth adventure. PC Games N, 3 out of 10. Lord of the Rings Gollum fails to live up to both the Tolkien name and its own potential, from exhausting, repetitive gameplay to a poorly constructed narrative. This is a piece of Middle-earth you should never explore. Ouch. Inverse gave it a 3 out of 10. Lord of the Rings Gollum is a messy and frustrating action platformer set in Middle-earth. Most of the gameplay involves platforming and stealth, though nothing nearly works well. Push Square, 2 out of 10. That's a Sony whatever. 2 out of 10. Lord of the Rings Gollum is a broken mess of a game. There are barely any redeemable qualities and found amidst what can only be described as a massive missed opportunity. I agree. GameStop, 2 out of 10. Much like Gollum's quest for... GameStop, 2 out of 10. That's crazy. Much like Gollum's quest for One Ring, my quest to complete Lord of the Rings Gollum was full of endless setbacks, impossible odds, and ever-increasing levels of madness. And like Gollum, my journey was doomed from the start. So if the developer's main goal was to really put you in the shoes of such a pitiful, unlovable character faced with constant pain and suffering at every turn, they were at least successful at that.
That's a zinger, that one.
That is a punch in the gut. That right there should be... every game developer should take that quote from GameStop, print it out, and put it on their walls. So every time a dev walks by, a CEO, somebody that's in like head above the CEOs, all those guys that call the main shots, we want a game, we want it now. They need to read that, and that should be ever inscribed on their hearts. Ouch.
Now I wonder what's getting more hate out of the 2 most recent Lord of the Rings contributions, being the Gollum game or the Rings of Power.
Rings of Power was awesome. I'm just saying.
I thought it was fine, but it got a lot of hate.
It's just purist, and we know there's purists around that are frustrating to talk to. It's really rough to talk to people like that regarding stuff. I'm just saying.
Star Wars.
All right. Anything else with Gollum, guys? Can this be fixed? Can this be like? This seems like it's half done.
Yeah,
So-
and that's been the case a lot recently. Where it's like where maybe game developers have too much sort of reliance on the fact that games now can be released, and then through patches and changes to the game, like that they can implement to update, they can then like sort of make the game better, like as they intended from the start.
Right.
Whereas games that were released like 15, 20 years ago, they when they were released, that was it. Like that
Yeah.
was the full game. There wasn't going to be anything added to it. There wasn't
Patches and
like
such. Yeah.
yeah. So I think now like people are just have too much reliance that they can just change something later.
Sure.
So they just release something that is incomplete. But that's ultimately that's not what we want.
Right.
Um,
James. Oh.
and it sort of goes back to what I said about 3 weeks ago, where it's like people don't remember the delays as much as they remember the bad releases.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And with honesty, I think it's only the game news people that remember delays. Because they just tend to, this game was delayed 4 times, but now it's finally being released. But us as gamers, like, who cares? We just want a good game. James, can this be fixed?
No. So, in 1997, a game released called Jurassic Park Trespasser for the PC. This game was meant to be the greatest Jurassic Park game of all time. It was one of DreamWorks Interactive's. It was meant to be their flagship game. They're a new publisher. And they basically told the studio making it, this comes out on this day, no exceptions. And the chap making it is now one of the fathers of the Xbox. I can't remember his name. But it released way unfinished. It was a buggy mess, and it's a notorious game in history for being awful. And he said a game is only late until it's released. But a bad game is bad forever.
Yeah.
No matter what comes out afterwards, people will always remember the initial release.
Yep.
They won't care about anything else. And like you say about Cyberpunk, you say that's a great game now. How many people like me are never going to touch it again because they're past that? That time's been and gone. I have no interest in going back to it.
You should play it.
No interest in going back.
The universe is awesome. No, I fully get it though. I really do. I just think like that game still had great potential though. Like I had the Series X, it played really good overall on the Series X, Cyberpunk. It's the other systems and stuff that it didn't do so good. PC as well. So, Mark, since like, is this something you're gonna want to play in the future? Can this be fixed? Like, I know you loved it, you were excited for it.
No, it can't be fixed. You can't fix that much bad. There's no fixing that. But James is right about bad games being remembered.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many good to great games in our lifetimes that we will probably forget. But the bad ones, the truly bad ones, we're always going to remember. We're always going to remember Battlefield 2042 when it came out with the mishaps with that.
It's amazing
remember,
now.
Yeah, we'll remember Gollum. We're
Yeah.
going to remember Superman 64.
That's true.
Flying through the rings. It's a lot easier for people to remember bad than good.
Yep.
And Gollum is going to go down in history. Oh, E.T. for Atari.
E.T. apparently killed the gaming industry. That's I know it didn't, but I watched that documentary, man. That was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. But it's like I don't know how you fix this and how you make it right for anybody that bought the game. Everything you can't go for a refund or anything like that, so you just kind of I don't know, you just sit there and just accept that you just lost your money.
Well, the scenarios James gave us, that can't be fixed. Like that's more level design. That like so hey, I got to do choose Smeagol or I choose Gollum or whatever, and if I choose Smeagol Panic, I'm dead. Like that you need to create a whole new scenario, level design, and path for that situation to play out, as opposed to just dying. What's that?
Well, the more I think about it too, somebody, I think it was you, Paul, that said it when the game was announced too, where like, there's in Lord of the Rings, you got the elves, you got the humans, you got the dwarves, and you got the hobbits.
Yeah.
Who the hell makes a game about Gollum?
Exactly. Out of all the things you could choose to make the game out of,
I get it. I get it.
Like, but it still had potential.
Yeah.
But they just
execution was terrible.
The ball.
I think game style was. I think in this world or gaming world, and James, you may agree. Like, look at that. What's that game we just played? The three of us not too long ago. No, the game that we made all the decisions and the crappy animation played out. What was that called? And we want to go back and redo it. Oh my god! It's like it's like Telltale Games, but it's not.
As Dusk Falls.
Yes, As Dusk Falls. Okay.
Of course.
So yeah, my apologies. My description was very bad. As Dusk Falls is amazing, but for me to look at it and say I'm not gonna play this, it looks like crap. That's where I did, and then James was like, hey, we should play this. I'm like, all right, I'll play anything. That should have been this Gollum game. It should have been a Telltale style. It plays out as like narrative and story. You make the choices as opposed to what they did now, and I think a Gollum game like that would work.
At this stage, this game.
Oh,
sorry, you go, Jet. At this stage, this game should just be thrown back to Mount Doom. Like,
beautiful. All right, James, what were you gonna say?
Now, I've been playing that Star Trek Resurgence game, and it's been getting 5-star reviews almost across the board.
Ooh.
And they're saying it's the best Star Trek.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Since Star Trek Voyager Elite Force back in 2001.
Oh,
over 20 years.
I need to play it.
It's a Telltale style game, kind of an interactive movie for 80% of the game. And then there are these really awesome interactive segments that are done super well. Like, your ship gets stuck and you're in charge of a shuttle and you have the whole shuttle display and you have to, deploy sensors around it. It's so cool. Then you have to, scan things with your tricorder to find all these, things that are wrong with your port nacelles. It is done so well. But if that was an open world style of game, I don't know if it would have been great. But the fact that they've done it an interactive story with choices, you're invested in it and you think, oh, what should I go for? Do I want to, take the suggestion of the engineer and piss off the captain? Or do I want to go with that and possibly have him, affect me because I'm the first officer? It's so good, and and I'm really enjoying it. And everyone is saying how good it is.
Oh, I need to play it, but it's $52 here, so we're not going to do that.
It's because your choices at that point have like agency. They have consequence.
Yeah.
They have a genuine impact. Whereas like the story of Gollum, how that ends.
Yeah.
He's still Gollum. Like, Frodo isn't able to reach him. He still grabs the ring off Frodo and then falls into Mount Doom. It's like so it's sort of it's doomed to begin with.
This is the way they should have went that way with what James was just saying. They should have done the narrative driven. They should have done that. All right, let's jump into the PlayStation event, because that I really wanted to not truly focus on that. The Gollum was kind of like our focus now, because that we hit on a lot of really good points with that, and I thank you guys for your input on that. So, PlayStation event, here we go. We did that. We live streamed the PlayStation event. We watched it for a little bit of an hour. Jim Ryan came out, did his thing, and then he came out right before the end and did his little thing too, which
he didn't cry, surprisingly.
He definitely didn't cry. So, let me just run down the event, and then Mark, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched bits and pieces of it. I definitely watched some of the game trailers.
Okay, cool. So PlayStation event. So Fair Game, Helldivers 2, Immortals of Avium, Ghost Runner 2, Phantom Blade, Sword of the Sea, The Talos Principle, Neva, Cat Quest, Foam Stars, The Plucky Squire, Teardown, Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater, also the Master Collection, The Towers of I put Towers of something because I missed the name. Final Fantasy 16, Alan Wake, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Revenant Hill, Blue Fantasy, Grand Blue Fantasy, Street Fighter 6, Ultros, Tower of Fantasy, Dragon's Dogma 2, Five Nights at Freddy's Help 1 and 2, Resident Evil 4 VR. Then we had Arizona Sunshine VR, Crossfire, Sierra Squad VR, Synapses VR, Beat Saber, Queen Music Pack, Marathon by Bungie, Destiny 2, The Final Shape, Concord, Gran Turismo trailer, the movie trailer, PlayStation Switch or Steam Deck, and we're not sure, whatever it's going to be, Spider-Man 2. All right, let's break her down, guys. What was there anything that looked good to you guys?
Spider-Man 2.
RPG session with you, and not really.
All right, so James, give me your honest opinion about the PlayStation event then.
So the thing with PlayStation is they know their demographic really well.
Yep.
And they know how to appeal to that, which is one of the reasons why they're more popular than Xbox. Xbox have kind of lost their way a little bit with their exclusives. That's the thing. Whereas PlayStation can just pump out Final Fantasy. What are they on now? 16? 17, 18?
Yeah, something like that.
The same hype for that there was for Final Fantasy 2 and 3. They know they can just keep pumping out the same sort of thing, and their fans will love it.
Yep.
Whereas Xbox aren't doing that, which is why they're lagging behind, I feel. But for those who aren't interested in that sort of thing, it's just the same carbon copy BS over and over and over. So for me, I got no interest in 90% of those games. And the ones that I did think, oh, that looks pretty good, are not PlayStation exclusives. So that's the thing. If I liked Final Fantasy, then I'd be hyped for this.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was the last one, then the last one, then the last one, and so on and so forth. Even Spider-Man, I think it looks great, but I'm just personally not interested in playing it because I've never been a fan of those games. That's just a personal opinion.
Sure.
I'm man enough to admit the game looks amazing. It's just not for me.
So you're hyped for Foam Star, right?
Yeah, anything foam really. Just love foam.
You just like foam. All right, I like that. All right, Lee, give me your thoughts on the PlayStation showcase.
They released 35 things, and they made announcements for them. I can only remember 8 of them. Because the rest were just so dull. I don't know. They were just very samey. They were, there wasn't any real heart to any of them. It was just like, hey, check this game out. It was made by people who don't care.
All right, hold on. So you didn't like the presentation style? Did you want more of an interactive?
No, it wasn't the presentation style. I thought, because to be honest, for me, I kind of liked that they were showing the content as opposed to doing one game and then switching over to people talking about it. It's no, we're the ones that are doing the talking about it. We don't need them to do that.
Yeah, let us talk about it. All right, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, let us form our own opinions of the games as opposed to us being told what to think about.
Yeah.
But I don't know, they just seem to become very the games just felt very similar after a while.
Okay.
To the point where it's I've made a count, 2 of the games were called Towers of something, and 3 other games had fantasy in the name. and it's like just come up with something different.
Okay.
Some of the best looking games in a sense, and they'd sort of have to be were PSVR 2 games, and there were 5 of those.
Yes.
And it kind of makes sense. The 3 things that I was most excited for at the end were the Gran Turismo film, which is a film, not a game, and the PlayStation Steam Deck, like
PlayStation Switch.
yeah, and Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2.
2, yeah.
I mean, like I don't care about foam stars other than to see how badly it fares.
What?
Um,
I'm shocked.
I mean, I think it just went, I think the peak of the whole thing was Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I think that was definitely the peak of the whole showcase for me. And I know I'm being like really negative over the whole thing, but
That's okay. It's your opinion.
but it's like a lot of these games are also sequels as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Helldivers 2, Ghost Runner 2, the Talos Principle 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan Wake 2, but the first one was really big. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Street Fighter
And
6.
yeah, but I was like more talking about direct sequels.
Yeah.
There's in like the second one. And it's like for those kind of IPs, I've never heard of them before.
You're
And
also not a PlayStation player though, too. And you're still relatively new to gaming.
Sure, but it's like but these trailers didn't entice me at all. And I'm just and given that those games felt very, very similar, it's like how did the first one do so well that they decided to make a second one?
All right. Mark, what were your thoughts on the PlayStation event?
Well, I was excited because I knew Spider-Man 2 that's supposed to be coming out this year. I knew that's going to be I knew that they were going to have more stuff with that, and I have watched the gameplay trailer that they had too with that with the black Spider-Man suit and stuff like that. I feel like that's going to be a great game. It's probably going to finish out somewhere, I would imagine, top 3 for best games this year.
Okay, yeah.
Because Spider-Man is very consistent,
Yes.
being a good game. That's probably one of PlayStation's most consistent games. Well, game series for sure. I was a little disappointed that they didn't have anything with Wolverine.
Okay, yeah. I think a lot of people were.
Since they did a really good job at teasing.
Yes, they did.
At their last event.
Yeah.
And I thought that game was supposed to be coming out this December. I guess not. It probably got pushed back some, which that's fine with me because I mean, it's the first time Wolverine's getting a standalone game like at least in modern history.
Right. Yeah.
So if they want to take their time with it, that's so be it on that. I am very excited about the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I'm might be one of the only Metal Gear fans here, but Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is one of the best games I've ever played, and if you look at the reviews on it, Metal Gear Solid 3 was a fantastic game by critics and everything. So I'm very excited about that, but that's really what all that stuck out about the PlayStation Showcase for me. Well, at least the 2 things I'm most excited for.
Okay.
Maybe I was too cynical.
No. And I want you guys to express your opinions because it is what it is. That's how you feel. I know you're not coming from a fanboy. If anybody's a fanboy in this group, it's me. With all honesty, just the way I go on. But if that's your opinion, that's great. I get it. If it's mostly negative, that's okay. There's a lot. Even my oldest kid, who's a hardcore gamer, he plays mainly on PS5, and he plays PC. He has a PS5. He plays a lot on PS5, and he didn't like the showcase. Isaiah didn't like it. He thought it was kind of crappy. So like, I get it. But for me, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was brilliant. One of the cool things is Xbox was able to take that showcase and promote themselves, which I thought was awesome because there's 12 games coming to Xbox, which I thought was awesome. So if you've not seen that tweet, check out the Xbox's tweet. It was pretty brilliant. They said, they pinned it. This was on May 24th. They're like, what a good looking group. And the emoji with the sunglasses. And it says coming to Xbox. And it was 12 games. As soon as Sony was done their showcase, pop, they tweeted that out. And it was, I thought that was, go ahead, James.
Those games also, the minute the showcase ended, appeared in the Xbox store and coming soon.
Oh, no way! All right,
You go, look, they're there now. So they waited for the showcase to end
Yep.
and then popped them in the store.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's really cool. And I have no issues with stuff like that. I just think that's brilliant, especially for us people who play Xbox and stuff. And like, look, I got the Xbox stuff in the background. So me and
they would probably cry about it though.
Did you see the sly little thing that Sony did? I just forgot until just now. So those 12 games that are coming to Xbox soon, at the end of those trailers, when it said, you know, the thing on the screen with, you know, coming to PlayStation and PS5, PlayStation and PC, they didn't have the Xbox logo on there to show that it was coming to Xbox as well. I thought that was a little crafty.
Yeah, that's...
Because it looks like an exclusive and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. And I just assumed most of, even like Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, I assumed that was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. It's not. The new Dragon Quest game is going to be on Xbox as well, which is amazing. Dragon Quest. I know the old one is, but I'm pretty sure that was kind of exclusive for Sony for a while. Yeah, there's a few other. Now I know Foam Stars isn't coming out on Xbox, so we'll have to make do without it. But me and Grim were just...
I don't think I'm gonna live with myself. How am I gonna sleep at night?
Yeah, Pete's gonna miss not having that on. Pete has a PS5. That's where he plays Red Dead, so he could play Foam Stars, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna just be all over that. So my favorite out of all of, besides Spider-Man, I think that's the majority is like Spider-Man, and it really was awesome. For me, and Grim and I are sitting there chatting about it on YouTube while you guys were chatting. Dragon's Dogma 2. I never played the first one. I didn't even really know what the first one was about. But it's right up my alley. It's an action RPG. I had no clue. And then when I saw Dragon Dogma on the PlayStation showcase, I was like, what is this? Nani? I was all excited. I couldn't... so that's kind of my favorite out of all of them. I'm super excited. But like before we started, I was telling Lee, I started writing down after, like I'd put the name of the game, how I felt about it, like looks good, Helldivers 2 would put meh, and then I just tapered off because it was just going so fast and stuff. Cat Quest, Pirates of the Caribbean? Come on, guys. Okay, crickets. All right, no. But yeah, so Street Fighter 6, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I would love to do a full Assassin's Creed podcast, guys. Just one full episode to Assassin's Creed before these games come out, because Mirage seems to be going back to what it used to be before the one in Japan pops out, which should be pretty awesome. So yeah, Dragon Quest is probably the one I am most looking forward to. So yeah, Grim and I are both beyond pumped for Dragon Dogma. Oh no, he said Dragon Quest. So Dragon Quest was on Game Pass, the last Dragon Quest. And I loved it. I only got to play probably 4 hours, and then it came off Game Pass, so it's sitting in my wish list, but it hasn't gone on sale yet. So, and this has been months now, so I can't wait. I just want to finish the story. I was telling Isaiah, my oldest kid, Dragon Quest in North America is Dragon Warrior when it came out back in the NES days in the 80s. I loved that. It's all about Sir Edric getting his armor to face off that final dragon. It was such a wonderful game. Music is brilliant. You would just walk back and forth hoping to spawn these golden golems so you'd have lots of money. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. My old man beard is, because when I talk on a microphone, I always put it up to my chin. It's just a technique I learned a long time ago. And so now when I pull it out, like old man beard hair is sticking into the thing. So yeah, anyways, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted 2. Isaac would be excited for that. Beat Saber's awesome. That's a cool game. My niece can't handle it because I'm fat. And but having the Queen music pack, I thought that was cool. And surprisingly, I did get a couple YouTube copyrights on that. I'm trying to think of what else wasn't Crossfire? Isn't that the game that came to Xbox and it was just super terrible when it was released? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing a VR game, Crossfire Sierra Squad. All right. Quick question. Should oh no, let's not do it because I'm going to keep you chatting for hours. PlayStation, Switch.
No. Ask the question.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Go on.
PlayStation.
Game looked interesting.
What's that?
That zombie VR game looked
The
entertaining.
zombie VR looked actually pretty darn good. I was quite impressed with that.
It did feel like similar to Dead Island 2.
Yes, yeah, that's the vibes I got. Dead Island.
Yeah, where you just play like an absolute lunatic, just slashing zombies. and not taking it
Exactly.
seriously.
Alan Wake 2, I thought was almost a show stealer. If it hadn't have been for Spider-Man 2, I think Alan Wake 2 would have been like, oh, okay, but that's also coming to Xbox, possibly Nintendo as well. Street Fighter.
Also announced an Alone in the Dark remake as well.
Oh, is there?
Did any of you like Alone in the Dark?
I never played it.
The remake's coming out. It's in the Xbox store as well.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so I thought it was a good showcase. I think for the PlayStation fans, a lot of them, since you're right, James, Sony does know how to target their audience. I think as Sony exclusive players, they're going to have a lot to play, especially with Foam Stars. That should be fantastic. I try to keep a straight face when I say Foam Stars. I really do.
It was definitely better than the Nintendo show.
Yes,
Direct.
way better than the
Definitely.
Nintendo show. I just want
Some high bar to hit though.
to. I just want to say I would play Foam Stars because I enjoy Splatoon.
Yes, you.
But the thing is like weirdly, it's just with Foam Stars, it graphically looks worse.
It does look bad. It looked. I'm gonna be honest. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
It looks worse than Fortnite, and Fortnite actually looks cool for what it is. Foam Stars look like it just looked terrible.
Yeah.
Think of another scenario where it might be just as entertaining to spray foam on people. Come on.
So I think it would be way more fun to watch foam being sprayed on people as opposed to a video game. I'm just saying. But yeah. So Mark, did you have a standout other than Spider-Man 2 on this? I know you didn't get to see all of it.
Just Metal Gear.
Yes. Okay, let's chat about that for a sec. Metal Gear Snake Eater apparently is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Correct.
Okay, and then they're doing the Metal Gears, the Master Collection. I don't know if it's the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection or the Metal Gear Collection. And if you're going Metal Gear Collection, you're going way back into NES days. That's the first Metal Gear I played.
Yeah, so Metal Gear Solid 3, that's the beginning, the origins of the modern day Metal Gear series and stuff like
Right.
that. So it's the beginning of the story of how Snake becomes big boss and stuff like that. It's a wonderful game. If anybody could go back and just play that game, I highly recommend it. It's one of the best Metal Gear games I've ever played.
Okay.
I'm really excited for that coming out. Metal Gear Solid that came out for PlayStation 1. It's had one remake, and that was on the Nintendo GameCube. That has not ever been re-released on any system that I know of. Not PlayStation 2, 3, 4, or 5. The only way you can play is actually going back on PlayStation 1 or on the GameCube. And I believe the GameCube version, the game right now is about $137 last time I looked.
Wow.
Just for the copy of that game. It was it really kicked off the series and took it to the next level to where it's at right now.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about this game coming out only because I'm a super Metal Gear fan.
What is that? What was that? Phantom something? Metal Gear Solid Phantom. Wasn't that like one of the best ones ever?
So the Phantom Pain that came out in the last PS4 and Xbox One, That was that is set in the timeline. I think maybe 5 or 10 years after the events of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
That was a great game as well. That just brought Metal Gear into the modern age of games and stuff like that. There's so much you can do on that game.
Okay.
Replayability is pretty good. It's like an open world game where you can kind of just like capture areas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it, that one too.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. Lee, did you have a standout other than Spider-Man 2?
Outside of that, if I'm honest, I do have a soft spot for FNAF, the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
And I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Assassin's Creed just taking a step back, going back to a bit more of their roots.
Oh, we need to do a full Assassin's Creed episode. I'm just saying. Okay.
I mean, I don't I know very little about what goes on in Assassin's
Sure.
Creed, but
Okay.
just it seems like they are taking a bit of a step back,
Lee,
And,
I highly recommend going to do Assassin's Creed 3, do Black Flag. Do the first ones, of course, the Ezio collection. But seriously, Black Flag, do part 3. If you got time to dedicate to these games, do part 3, then do part 4, and you'll just see how amazing these open world ones are. It's just mind blowing.
all right, yeah.
James, how about you? Go ahead.
And for me, I did like the Arizona Sunshine 2, which felt very Dead Island.
Okay, excellent. James, did you have a standout other than like Spider-Man?
There were a few games that looked pretty good, but they're not PlayStation exclusives.
Okay.
So you can't really compliment the PlayStation Showcase when your favorite game is not an exclusive.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, with regards to exclusives, I'd say the game that looked, most something I'd play would be the Arizona Sunshine, the zombie VR game.
Yep.
That one I think I'd have some fun on. But is there anything there that made me, bust open my wallet and go, I must get a PlayStation 5? No.
No.
I'm
So
glad you said your wallet.
so what else though? You said that's not a Sony exclusive. What was the standout that's not a Sony exclusive? Alan Wake 2?
Wake 2 looked really interesting. Assassin's Creed Mirage looked really interesting. And that was pretty much it. There were about 10 games on there where it's just a load of anime-style people fighting massive monsters in them JRPGs. When you've seen one of them, you've seen them all. Not interested in Final Fantasy. Not interested in Spider-Man, but it did look good.
Yeah.
And the others, if I can't remember them, then they weren't that memorable.
Okay. No. Hey, that's all right.
Paul and James, considering that you both played It Takes Two together.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, what your take on the plucky squire was.
I'm trying to remember. I see it on my list here.
Yeah, it felt very It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Oh, that one that starts on like a storyboard and then he hops out.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah, that looked cool, but the fact that I've forgotten about it instantly after.
Oh no.
Really, stuck with me. So...
All right. So June 11th, since we're all Xboxers, we need to really dive into the Xbox event. Really dive in and just give her a go. So I'm calling it right now that Metal Gear Solid Collection or whatever is going to be on Game Pass. Calling it right now. You wait and see.
I hope so. It'll save me a whole lot of money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Same with the Halo or the Master Chief Collection, the Gears of War Collection, which will be announced on June 11th. I'm calling that right now. That will be on Game Pass, all of that stuff. So, very exciting. Boys, is there anything else before I let you...
Did you see the announcement that Microsoft put out? Obviously, it doesn't affect me because I'm not interested in that sort of stuff. But Microsoft have released a statement to people putting things on the store that they don't like how easy it is for people to get achievements. So Microsoft are going to be rejecting new publishers putting games in the store that have easy achievements, i.e., you load up the game achievement. You spend 5 minutes achievement.
Oh,
So
that must break your heart.
If you look on the Microsoft website under publishing games, because anyone can publish a game to the store, but it must be reviewed,
Right.
by a huge set of stringent checks. And they've added a new quality check to that list that says if your achievements that you're allowing people to unlock can all be got within a certain time frame, they will reject that game going onto the store. They've gotten tired of all of these games that people are downloading for easy achievements,
Right.
because it's driving a climate of this game has a total playtime of 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And that I can't remember what it's called, but if you look it up, you'll see that.
Yeah, no, I seen it today. We just didn't get to talk about it. So
yes, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. But it just seems like an interesting thing there.
Really?
All of a sudden, James, if you turn to the side for a sec, your nose grew about 6 to 7 inches. I don't know if you see it. It's huge right now. It's almost like a Pinocchio situation.
There's a game developer I hadn't heard before called Ratalaika, and all of their games are 10-minute games, but they have really easy achievements. And they get their money from, I don't know who they are, but people just buying these cheap games for achievements. It's just something I'd read randomly online. I've never heard of them.
No.
It's interesting that Microsoft have kind of called that out and gone, this isn't what we want. We want people to play for hours on our platforms and feel a sense of accomplishment for getting these achievements.
Your biggest problem with Redfall wasn't like the graphics or the gameplay.
Tell him, Lee. Tell him.
It was the fact that the achievement was an odd number.
And that is a fact that lots of people don't like.
It's a truth.
Even
He's
Paul
right.
saw a review that someone didn't like, that they had to get another game to fix their gamer score.
So, James, I don't know what you're going to do, because this month I seen you had over 5,000 achievements. I can only imagine how much money you spend on these garbage games just to get achievements.
No, not at all. So I've been playing a lot of Gears of War, Star Trek Resurgence, Ghostwire Tokyo, and there are a number of others that have come out. That Dead Island 2, 1000G in that. So thank you very much, as Elvis would say.
No, he's lying. So just that report here, James. Now I go to PureXbox.com. It's a British news Xbox thing. It says the outlet source says these 3 rules were added on May 1st, and then they've been integrated as part of the Xbox requirement XR-055 achievements and gamerscore category. However, as noted in the report, we've already seen some of these game releases on the Xbox store since May 1st that appear to break the first rule. So it's unknown whether they'd already passed certifications prior to the date, or whether the team Xbox is simply willing to be quite lenient about the whole situation. Microsoft has yet to provide any official details. So, yeah. If you care about your gamer score, I know none of yous do at all. None of yous really give a crap about your gamer scores, so it is what it is.
They're also changing the dashboard as well.
I have the new dashboard update.
Does it show your reward points next to your gamer score?
Your reward
Because that's something
points?
they're going to be introducing on the dashboard. So you'll have in the corner your gamer score, and then it will show you their reward points, because they're pushing changes to the reward point schemes. And they're going to have that as a thing as well.
I have the new dashboard update. I didn't even notice. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I'm part of the program. So what you could do.
Is the new dashboard any good? Like,
so
can you navigate it better? Or
so what you can do is sign up for the beta program, download the app, the Xbox Insider, then go through the little app to say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It takes just a little bit, and then you just reboot your Xbox, and voila, you have the new dashboard. So what they have now is you have 5 items top middle. So it's like the Xbox Store, Game Pass, blah, 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 blah. A couple things at the top left. Then you have a decent gap, okay? A decent gap. I tweeted this out to Phil Spencer, to be honest. one sec, just so I can see it. I don't do tons of tweets. Right here. Okay, cool. Look at that. I found it already. So what it has in the top left-hand corner, it has your username. Mine's Urban Pharaoh. And then beside it says Ultimate. Underneath it, it says my gamer score. So 184,904. Then, and that's just very small. And then the top middle is your library, the Xbox Store, Game Pass, search, and then your settings. Just a little blip here. Hold on, can I bring this over? Oh, I can too. Look at this. I don't know if you guys have the stream up, but this is it right here. Then it has your time at the top right-hand corner. Like I said, there's a decent gap in the middle, but then it has the games you played or the last games and apps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9. And then it has advertisements underneath that. And so to get rid of that, all you have to do is just press down, 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 and it goes to like Game Pass, blah, 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 blah. And I like it much better than what we had. I get to see more of my dynamic background, but those dynamic backgrounds still do not work with the new background or the new layout. And that's a problem. But it's okay because we're getting there. We're getting better. Because that's one thing about PlayStation is their backgrounds. I have a Journey background, plays music. It's all filled with Journey, and I get to see a lot of that background. It's amazing. It's brilliant. And I would like to see Xbox follow suit. That's it. So if you have Twitter, check it out. Check out my tweets. Just go to my page, hit my profile or whatever, and just scroll down a bit. And you'll see what the new layout looks like if you've not done it. But if you're an Xbox player, go to the Xbox app insider app, sign up for the beta program, whatever it is. It only takes a little bit. Reboot your Xbox, and voila, you are good to go with the new update. All right, boys. Anything else? This is awesome today. Thank you so much.
Bring back the blades.
Good.
Bring back the blades. Yeah, that's out there in my Series X out in the living room. It has the old Xbox 360, the green ripples that go down for the background instead of the blades. It has that. It's phenomenal. I do love it. It's like, oh, nostalgia. And even Isaac, my 13-year-old, since we had my wife used to run a daycare in the house and we had tons of Xboxes. And so he remembers that. He's like, oh my gosh, that's from the 360. And I'm like, all right, cool. He was just a little kid playing these games. So that was awesome. Yeah, do it up. Do it up. The millions watching, thank you so much. Jim Ryan, hopefully we did good today and you didn't get too beat up. Phil, thank you so much for hanging out. The Daedalic devs and CEOs and stuff, thank you for tuning into the podcast as well. I really appreciate you guys. Along with everyone else, thank you. I know a lot of people tune in, the millions that tune in here to just listen and hear what our input and everything is.
Our ramblings.
Never ramblings. This is constructive feedback, and just to chat. Just hang out, the boys, and we're always welcome to anybody. It doesn't matter if you're female. It don't matter to us. We don't care. If you're a gamer, join in. Silver says I'm still here.
Unless you're Missy, then you know.
Why would you even bring that name up here?
Anyways,
Anyways,
in a while.
yeah. Oh, she's brought up at least once a week. At least once a week. Mark, where can they find you on all? Oh, go ahead, James. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, hey, Paul.
Exactly. Exactly. Mark, where can they find you on all your socials?
Let's see, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the same thing. Ultimate Hater 87.
Yeah. All right, James, where can they find you on all your socials? You're a Twitter dude. You have Twitter, don't you?
No.
Oh.
I used to. I got rid of it.
Was that just recently?
I might still have it. I haven't been on it in years. If I do still have it.
All right.
I think I'm following 2 people. That's you and Mooney on there. So,
Oh, okay. Yes.
But yeah, if Paul's streaming, check out his stream. You'll get a hello from me.
Hello, Paul. Lee,
Hello.
where can they find you on all your socials?
Ditto to James.
All right. So James and Lee, when Mark's not working, Mark's here. And when Mark's working, he'll tune in, which is awesome. So I do appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. James and Lee are always here. We're usually playing games together when Lee's not out with his friend. Inside joke. Inside joke, but we're just saying. All right, boys and girls.
Whoa, it's James.
All my stuff is in the description. If you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch. I live stream on both. This week we're gonna be rocking Diablo. We're gonna be rocking Gears early. We gotta do Gears early. Sorry, Brimstone, that stuff doesn't work on the podcast. So Friday, actually Tuesday, is my 25th wedding anniversary. So we're gonna figure something out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll still be streaming though, because what are we gonna do? I gotta work. She's gotta work. Blah blah blah. It is what it is. That's just the way it.
It's because you can't take any time off because you spent all the time that you're taking off, you paid time off for the Fridays.
Listen.
Spent all of it for that.
I still have 160 hours of vacation to use up. 160 hours. I'm still going to do it on Fridays. I'm still going to take time off. I don't care. So Monday, tomorrow, we'll figure it out. I don't know what I'm playing. Tuesday, we're not sure. Wednesday is Diablo Day. It's day one. James, do not get it if you don't think you're going to like it. Just wait. Wait and let Lee and I play it. Isaiah, he's going to join. Excuse me. Of course, Mark's going to wait and see what Diablo 4 is like. Thursday.
It's groups of 4, isn't it?
Groups of 4, yeah. Thursday is going to be Gears. We got to do it a day early as Stefan, I'm off Thursday and Friday. Steph's off Thursday afternoon and Friday, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. We'll figure it all out, but we're going to have a great time like we always do. So, hit the like, subscribe, all of that stuff. And I rarely ever say it, but here it is. Guys.
So is, Diablo 4, is that coming out on the 31st?
The 1st, which...
The 1st.
That's what...
Oh, that's a Thursday.
Sorry. I'm just messed up with my days. I'm sorry. So, yeah. Thursday. We'll figure it out. Anyways.
We get to play it.
We may not even get to play it until next Monday. We can't do that. We can't do that. We'll figure it out. Anyways, here we go. So as for Mark, thank you so much for joining. As for James, thank you for joining. And as for Lee, who always joins, my name is Paul, and you guys take care. Whoa. What was that duck sound? Oh my gosh, Lee. So Lee, a couple weeks ago, was like, hey, Paul, can you hear this? And he did some sort of duck thing. And then, there
we go.
Oh, my goodness. Did you just remember to use those now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
it's as soon as you...
Gears Escape tomorrow?
I'm sorry?
Do you fancy doing some Gears Escape tomorrow?
We can, yeah. I've got nothing specific to play until Diablo, but yeah, Gears Escape tomorrow. Yeah, we could do that. Lee, what's your week looking like?
Well, it's a bank holiday Monday, so I got the whole day free.
Okay. Oh, it's Memorial Day here in the U.S. Mark, are you off?
No, I have to work we are closing. It's like 9 to 6, I believe.
Ew.
So we're closing early. Yeah, it's mandatory. We work holidays and stuff. And yesterday the weather was so bad, we got like 3 inches of rain here, and it was real slow at the dealership. So
yeah,
they're definitely going to be wanting us working Monday for sure.
I get it. Oh my gosh.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, let's do Gears Escape tomorrow. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun. So, what's your week looking like, though, Lee? My week's a little crazy this week, I guess, for time. So I'll figure it all out. But
I'd like
Tuesday's date night, right?
No, well, I don't think that's gonna happen. So, I don't. He dumped me.
Woo!
Yeah. Hey, it's I just gotta go with it.
I get it. Don't you worry about it, dude. It's all good.
But we'll say that I'm free the whole week.
Okay, James, what's your week looking like?
Just work mainly, but yeah, we're gonna do some Gears tomorrow.
Yes.
I didn't think you were going to be streaming on Tuesday because I thought you'd be going out with Steph or something for a meal.
So Tuesday. So check this out. Here's a funny story. This was like the 1st of May, and Cameron messages me. Give me a sec, and I'll let you go here in a sec. But this is how weird this is. So this was... Oh, no, it's going to be May 9th. No, that was a nice message. Oh, I can't find it. Yeah, so anyways, Cameron messages me, and this is like the 1st of May. He's like, hey, I just bought us tickets to a comedy show here in Moncton. And he says, have you ever heard of so-and-so? And it's that, like, the British comedian who's kind of offensive in a sense. He always
Ricky Gervais?
Nope, not Ricky Gervais. Comedian.
Ricky Boyle.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a lot of comedians.
Jimmy Carr.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm not a
you
fan
gonna
of him.
see it?
Listen, I love Jimmy Carr. So I think he's funny. I love the fact that he's offensive, and it's good. So Cameron messaged me the 1st of May. He goes, hey, I just bought us tickets to see Jimmy Carr, me, you, and Isaiah. It's going to be awesome. Have you heard of him? Like, yeah. But I said, when is the day? Because it's May, and there's a special day in May. He goes, it's May 30th. All excited. I was like, dude, that's my 25th wedding anniversary. And he's like, oh, no. So Steph's like, you can go, but I can't do that to her. And
Why don't you take Steph and make it like an anniversary thing?
so it's just getting another ticket to sit together. It just doesn't work like that because you got to buy like 2 seats together, which kind of sucks.
Smith, John said, "Don't sit in the front row."
Yeah, I know. I see Smith, John, and so we're still debating on what we're doing. So Moncton is like an hour and 20 minutes away. Isaiah's going for sure, and I said the only way I will go is if Steph has a friend to hang out with that night. That's the only way I could do it that would be like acceptable, because I don't want to leave her on our 25th anniversary. So I'm like this blows. I can give Cameron the money.
Jimmy round.
What's that?
Invite Jimmy round, and Steph and Jimmy could have a nice
evening. No. Yeah, we're definitely not going to do that. So we're going to figure it out. So Tuesday is up in the air still, and so yeah. So I don't even. And the whole plan was for our wedding anniversary to go to Moncton, but I got to pay for the car. Blah blah blah. So yeah, we're gonna figure all of this out. What a weird week, man, for all of this to go down. So yeah, we'll. What's that, Mark?
No, I was going to say busy week ahead then.
Busy week ahead. It's figuring things out. I only work 3 days, which is awesome. And I had booked this time off like a couple months ago or whatever. So we'll figure out Jimmy Carr. It'd be awesome to go see, but I just can't. Like even if we look at it and see if we can get 2 tickets together, it's probably sold out. It's
a Steph week. You know, write down things you could do in the evening.
Yeah.
Like cinema, you know, this food place, that food place, romantic night in, etc. Jumble them all up and put them in a couple something, and let Steph pick one out. And each evening you have to do whatever Steph picks out of the couple, or whatever.
Well, I told her what you and Mooney do about movies. You guys have this wheel of movies, and then spin around. That's a great idea because both of us are indecisive on what to do because we don't want to do something the other doesn't want to do. You know what I mean? So it's just like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, whatever you want to do. She's like, well, I want to do what you want to do. And I'm like, well, it's just endless. And then we go back and forth with that. And we've been doing that for 27 years. So it's just funny.
Wonder how you get anything done.
I hear you. You were going to say something, weren't you, Mark?
No. I was just thinking about what I'm going to do for the rest of the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you guys got planned? That's it, eh?
I don't know.
Well, this is awesome. Good. What movie did you and Mooney watch, James?
Last night we watched Alien.
Oh.
The first one.
Oh.
Yeah. Did she like it?
Yeah, she'd watched it before years and years and years ago, but she'd forgotten most of it.
Okay, cool.
And for me, I said that because it's pretty tame now, you know, and the rubber suit on the alien looks pretty dated, but
does it?
You can't watch it like with that mindset. If you were watching that for the first time in the cinema in 1979,
yeah,
that would have been, oh my god, this is incredible.
Sure.
You know? But yeah, I've just assembled the lawnmower before I jumped on screen.
Yes, sir.
So I've got to finish that.
No worries.
What did you call it, James?
A lawnmower.
No. Cinemar.
Yeah, cinema.
Oh,
I
what do
thought you
call
said
it?
cinema. I thought you said Cinemar.
If he was Australian, he would have said Cinemar.
Oh,
Cinema.
Nar. Awesome. All right, everybody. You guys just stay right there. Everybody in chat, thank you so much for hanging out on our podcast. You guys have a wonderful day.
Yeah, James